What the? Why is there so much damage? No, thank you.
Okay.
Do not die, Gambi, do not die!
I'm trying not to. They just...
Герои не вмирают!
Almost.
Okay, let's just...
Hey, what's going on everybody? It's about that time again, we're back in the PTS, ready to check out a new champion. Now before we start, I do have to mention that I had to suffer through almost 200 ping and constant dodges.
I am just chilling in queue. I've been waiting for 20 minutes again.
What?
Oh, it's this guy again!
By the same exact people, just to make this video. So please be kind enough to hit that like and subscribe button if you still haven't. You know, just for the effort. But I did manage to get some good footage. Now, all that aside, onto our girl of the hour, Kasumi.
You never see it come back.
She's the ghost of some poor soul trapped in perpetual agony caused by having to be in a game such as Paladins. Aren't we all in agony from it? She looks like a budget poltergeist from the ring and uses a voodoo doll as her main weapon, stabbing it each time you hold down the primary fire. Now, don't get me wrong, I think she looks pretty cool overall, but her design, at least in my opinion, simply doesn't fit in the Paladins world. Although they did long abandon any semblance of lore or immersive character design, so I guess it really doesn't matter. Still, she kind of looks like she belongs in a game such as Dead by Daylight. This of course is Evo Mojo's Halloween update, so I see why they went with this sort of spooky theme. And the skins in the update back up that theory. What the heck is that? Okay, what is that?
Look at the top of his head!
But now for a word from our sponsor, Outplayed. Are you tired of hitting sick clips in your game of choice, but just not being able to share this special moment with others?
What a beautiful kibble.
Are you tired of humongous file sizes and limited customization? Well, no more. Outplayed is a one-and-all customizable video recording software with a built-in editor to boot. Make plays, clip it, and send it to your social media of choice. All of this at a click of a button. With Outplayed, it's never been easier to record your favorite games at high quality with virtually no frame loss and tiny file sizes. I mean, just look at that. That's a full 1080p clip with a 2.5 hour session. Outplayed can be run automatically or using macros to record only what you wish, along with options in most games to record highlights, kills, victories, and more, with the list of games only growing. And even if your game isn't on the list today, they also have a built-in screen recorder as well. But the best part? It's all free! So what are you waiting for? Download Outplay today through my link in the description below, and never miss another Outplay again. Thank you Outplay for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to it. But what about her kit? Is she busted? Will she need to be nerfed?
Look at all this damage!
Well, not exactly. Well, let's start off with that very primary fire. Yokai Doll. You hold down left click to automatically deal damage to any target in range, dealing 250 damage every 0.6 seconds. All this while applying stacks of curse to your current targeted foe. It deals 10% increased damage to your target per stack of curse currently applied. Other targets inflicted with curse will have up to 2 stacks stripped from them to increase the curse applied to your target by 1. The ability itself is effective up to 120 units.
Oh, that range kind of long though.
Yeah, you're kinda dead.
I am kinda dead.
It also has a pretty neat passive, which boils down to the target dealing 2% less outgoing damage and taking increased damage from your abilities for each stack of curse. I know that's a long one, but as a standalone damage skill, it's honestly pretty weak. Most other champions in her category, that being the damage one, actually do far more damage on their just primary skill, without really needing to rely on any sort of combo to dish it out. But Kasumi's biggest source of damage is her burst, which brings up the secondary fire, the skill Savage Tear. You viciously rip through your yokai doll, dealing 525 damage, and at maximum stacks of curse, disarming your target for 1 second. It deals increased damage per stack of curse on your target, and in short, stack 5 curses with your primary fire, right-click with Savage Tear to do a burst of 900, while also disarming your opponent for 1 second, meaning they just can't shoot. The burst really isn't that bad, and disarm at max stacks will be able to deal with most flanks. Yep, there's a monkey on it.
Uh-oh. No! No, thank you. I'm good.
What? He's so low.
Get wrecked,
You
bot.
actually survived that, huh?
Get wrecked, bot.
And if anyone without high burst damage decides to push you directly,
No, Pip. Pip, run. Run, Pip.
it will usually end like this. However, there's a problem. Max stacks. The fastest way to get stacks is by using specific loadouts which encourage the use of your right click before you get max stacks. So you're sort of left with the choice of getting max stacks and saying no to the burst, or slowly building stacks with your low fire rate while the enemy shoots you, which usually leads to your death. Again? You know, because she's already dead. No? Alright, I'm sorry.
Pain, dude.
I teleported and then Randy was just right there.
One touch moment.
Oh, what?
Big pop off.
Let's go!
What I just do to your team, dude?
But that's not the worst part. Since both your primary and secondary fire are auto-aim, they lock onto other enemies that simply pass by or fail to lock on when targets teleport, dash, you name it, which resets the stacks again. Oh, and you also auto-lock on turrets and shields. Yup, this character feels beyond clunky with the auto-aim being able to switch targets and for some bizarre reason, hit deployables. It honestly would not be OP if she could shoot through shields. I'd be fine with that. It would add another layer of shield counters to Paladins, and boy do we need those. But Evil Mojo decided to make her life miserable, and just go with this route. At the end of the day, I recommend grabbing this loadout, with Betrayal 4 for a faster reset on your right-click burst, Cursed Doll 5 for 3 stacks instantly on the use of your right-click, and Sealed Fate 4 for some self-sustain. Now, depending on how you decide to play, you could go with Surrounded by Fear maxed out to get that 1 extra curse faster, if you plan to use your burst at 5 stacks most of the time, but I prefer to just use the right-click to gain 5 stacks faster, and here's why. Her best talent? Empowered Curse. It increases your attack speed by 5% and movement speed by 5% as well, but this is per stack, so at max stacks that's 25%, while also providing you damage reduction with your passive. With this talent and loadout, she becomes an absolute unit when you want to shred tanks or any other big boys on point, while also still having the option to use your burst if someone decides to flank you, even if it's not preferable to use it in such a way. And hey, that's honestly okay. She's meant to be a DPS that pumps out damage into the tanks, so it's honestly fine. She fills her role pretty well. It's just annoying that shields and deployables are also locked on, along with the auto-aim that can really mess you up, so you definitely gotta watch out for that.
Come on, come on, come on. No, 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 no.
You're alright, you're alright.
Don't do that.
Shut up, you're not dying.
In case Evil Mojo isn't reasonable enough to actually change this and fix it before it goes live. But why do I say Empowered Curse is her best talent? Well, because the other two are completely useless.
Welcome.
We did it.
Damn,
We did it.
So nice.
With the Spirit Bombs, you become a budget 7, only without the mobility. I do see it being somewhat useful or viable if you max out the range card for her bombs, but then you sacrifice the other cards which she desperately needs to be even slightly decent with. I suppose you could try max range on bombs and max out the self-sustain card, hoping to get your stacks off of the mines, but considering you don't throw them and need to be in the place you set them up, it is a bit risky. As for unfinished business, that just doesn't have a single redeeming quality. It's supposed to make her escape better by giving you back 70% of your HP. 70% HP that your body took while traveling. And let me tell you something, that doesn't matter, because her escape or movement ability, body and soul, is by far the worst one I've seen in game.
I'm done.
Oh, hi.
I
Okay, I
hate that
got
they
you.
can just shoot my clone. What a stupid escape ability. That's like the worst escape ability I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Get this, you freeze in place and can travel around in a spirit form while people can shoot your frozen body and do full damage to you. All this while you're unable to do a single thing about it, until your travel timer ends or you teleport right back to it by using the skill again. Thing is, you'll be dead the second you use the ability, because the next shot of your opponent will be in that exact same spot, and with how squishy she is, it only takes 2 to 3 shots to actually kill her. So that's just a please kill me button at this point. It really needs to be reworked into a simple Zen Billow or something. This movement ability adds nothing to the game and simply has no reason to have such a mechanic. It just
makes her worse. It's not a viable skill whatsoever. Alright, but criticism aside, let's think on how we could make this skill better without actually reworking it. Well, here's a simple solution. Just let her use her traps while in the spirit form. This will not only make her third talent more viable, but the second one as well. And on top of it all, it would fit perfectly in her kit in a unique and immersive way. You could stand behind a corner and just go into that spirited form to trap a certain pathway that you know will be used by the enemies while still being relatively safe yourself, and being able to blink back to your original body like some sort of EV wormhole. This would just improve the kit. There's honestly no downside, and it wouldn't be too overpowered if we let such things as 7 and Androxus with his new burn talent exist.
I stalk the night!
Haha! I knew this would happen!
Forgive me!
I'm joking! Stop!
And speaking of her traps, we come to her final skill, Spirit Lure. You place up to 3 traps, reactivating this ability when an enemy gets close to teleport to the most recent trigger lure. You deal 100 damage applying 3 stacks of Curse, and apply a 1.5 second fear to nearby foes. After reactivation, Spirit Lure will go on a longer cooldown. You might be asking yourself, how are these traps different compared to 7's bombs? And well, first off, they're invisible to the enemy, needing Illuminate to actually see them. And second, they apply a short fear to the enemies when you trigger them. Normally, if you're not using the trap talent, there will be an eerie sound effect, letting you know that some poor sap has stumbled his way into your trap. Overall, it's a decent skill, but needs something more to indicate that the trap should be used, as the sound effects in the game are everywhere, and this one just gets drowned out by everything else. But what about the best part of any character? What truly makes or breaks them? Their whole identity and the most powerful of all skills, her ultimate. Well...
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
yeah. Her ultimate, called Bitter Betrayal, just like I feel bitterly betrayed by this ult, is lacking to say the least. It does miserable damage, and most of the time it just doesn't hit the surrounding enemies, being because of a bug or the range of the AoE being short. I don't know. Even when it does hit them, for a damage champion, where is the damage? You're supposed to use this on stacked enemies, or in enclosed spaces where they won't have a chance to back up, but overall, it really needs a damage buff. Currently, it just sort of tickles your opponent, and I found myself using it as a finisher to low HP enemies that were trying to run away. And I'll give it to Evil Mojo, when used like that, it actually feels pretty satisfying, knowing you already placed a bomb on them, and there's no way out.
Killer Queen はすでにドアノブに触っている。
Oh, yeah, thought the Miauw him.
Cheeky little JoJo reference for you there. Of course, it's auto-aim just like the rest of her kit, so do beware of that. And that pretty much wraps up her playstyle. You can teleport all you want.
If I hit any of those shots, you would have been dead. To be fair.
Nah.
Okay,
Stay
mad,
mad.
I shot
Stay
3 shots.
mad, dude. But what about the lore, the sound effects, the voice pack? Well, the sound effects are spooky, and the lore is edgy. I mean, what do you want me to say? I gave up on Evil Mojo making any proper lore several years ago, so this snippet really doesn't excite me. And the voice lines?
Welcome to Japanese 101.
For her age, they put this. Of course they did, just like Genshin Impact, and that's pretty much it. My first rating for this champion would have to be 5 out of 10 Discord ghost emojis. Honestly, I think she still needs a bit of time in the oven, or the grave. Please laugh. All her auto-aim stuff is a bit clunky, and personally I just don't really like the playstyle that much. I prefer DPS characters that need to aim, pull off combos, have unique mechanics. This just felt like something we already have. A mix of DPS Ceres with her stacks and auto-aim to make it even easier. I know a lot of people are excited for her, and I hope you guys enjoy the update. As for what I think of it, it's just alright, and I suppose that's okay. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this quick review. Shout out to all our channel members, Azreal, Hochron, Magma, Flux, Try-Dye Repeat, and the rest of these lovely people on screen, along with the description below. Thank you all for supporting the channel financially, and a shout out to anybody watching. Give yourself a pat on the back, you deserve it too. As always, if you would like a friendly gaming community to join, consider checking out our Discord server. That will also be in the description below. That's all for this one. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.